Welcome to Clear Talk, the financial series here on Sacramento Smooth Jazz Radio, where we take a brief pause from the music to bring you clear, useful conversations about money, retirement, insurance, and financial peace of mind. That's what we're trying to do here. And today I'm joined again by Mr. John Nunes of Fortis Insurance Solutions. He's our in-house financial expert, and he brings 28 years of experience helping people like you make sense of important financial decisions. Our goal and purpose today, and each time we're here, is really simple. You know, it's no hype, no pressure, no financial noise, just straight, thoughtful conversation designed to help you feel informed and comfortable and more confident about your financial road ahead. John, welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. It's always great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Michael. Once again, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, we are making a lot of progress, helping a lot of listeners and listening to the Clear Talk session. So you're definitely making a mark in this world with the information that you bring to the table. And of course, over the last few Clear Talk segments, we've covered some very important ideas, man. And first, let's say, for example, the 401k is not the same thing as the retirement plan. You touched on that. And second, we clarified what a 401k is and what it's not. And then we talked about the retirement gap. What happens when the paycheck stops? So today I want to do something. Let's connect these dots here. If someone has saved money, but they still don't know how that money becomes income, where do annuities fit into this conversation?
Well, I got to tell you, Michael, that's the right question to ask, because whether you have a 401k, an IRA, or a retirement account, it may help someone build the money. But your retirement, it's not lived as an account balance. Retirement is lived as income. So the next step is asking how much of this money needs to be positioned to create dependable income. That is where annuities may potentially enter the conversation. Now, remember, it's not for every dollar, not for every person, but for the right portion of the plan when income and protection are the main goal.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because all things are not for all people, of course. And so let us recap the first part. What should people remember about their 401k? Let's go back there.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, they need to remember that your 401k, it's primarily an accumulation account. It can be very useful, and it definitely can help people save, and it may even include an employer match. But the one thing you need to understand is that the account itself, it doesn't automatically answer the retirement income question. It doesn't automatically tell you how much you can safely withdraw, how long the money's going to last, or what even happens during a down market. So that is why I keep saying that a balance, it's not a paycheck. It's the income that pays the bills.
Great. Now, we talked also about the retirement gap. How does that connect to this discussion?
Well, just to sort of recap what we were talking about, that retirement gap, that's the difference between the income that someone's going to need in retirement versus what their current strategy is actually prepared to provide. Now, a person may have money saved, and they still might have a gap if there's no clear income plan. Now, what this gap does show is when we ask these simple questions: where is the monthly income going to come from? How much of it is guaranteed? How much of it is exposed to the market? And what happens if the person lives, let's say, 25 to 30 years in retirement? Once you ask those questions, Michael, the annuities become easier to understand because they're designed specifically to help address those income risks.
I'm talking with John Nunes of Fortis Insurance Solutions. He is here with us every week to talk about some great financial insight to bring you to a greater understanding. Now, John, define everything you said here. What is an annuity supposed to do?
Well, at its core, an annuity is a contract with the insurance company. And depending on the type and design, it can actually help provide protected growth, which is important, protected income, or even both. Now, the reason that annuities matter in retirement planning is because they can actually help you transfer some of that income risk away from the retiree. So instead of the retiree carrying all that pressure of market timing, withdrawal rates, or longevity, a properly structured annuity is going to help create a stream of income that could potentially last for a lifetime. And it's going to be subject to terms of the contract and the claims paying ability of the insurance carrier.
Are you saying people should move all of their retirement money into an annuity?
No. And that's very important. And that was a good question that you asked, because not every dollar in retirement needs to do the same job. Now, some of your money may need to stay liquid. Some money may be positioned for growth, and some money may even be used for emergencies or legacy planning. But a portion of your retirement money, it needs to be positioned for dependable income. So that is the real conversation that we need to have, because we shouldn't be asking, should everything go into an annuity? What we should be asking is, which dollars need to create income that you can count on.
There you go. I like that. So let me ask you this here. Why does this become more important as someone gets closer to retirement?
Simply, Michael, it's because risk changes. While someone is working, they may have time to recover from any type of market loss. But when you get near retirement, a major downturn could be much more damaging, especially if you're taking withdrawals at the same time. That is what you'd call sequence of returns risk. The timing of losses do matter, and what annuities can create is a protected income bucket. So the entire retirement strategy, it's not dependent on perfect market timing.
Okay. So every week you're here, you talk about the Fortis Legacy Diamond. How does this fit into the Fortis Legacy Diamond approach you speak about every week?
Well, the Fortis Legacy Diamond, as you know, Michael, it's built around 4 different pillars: protect, retire, bank, and leverage. Now, annuities primarily fit inside the retire pillar because they can help create retirement income. But they also support the overall system by helping reduce pressure on the rest of the plan. So what I'm trying to say here is if one portion of your money is designed to create income, then other assets can be assigned different jobs, such as providing liquidity, growth, protection, or even legacy. So that is how we move from random accounts into a coordinated strategy.
You're bringing high-level strategy into this place. That's what you're doing, John. And I really am grateful to have you discuss this with our listeners. So if someone is listening and they have a 401k, IRA, or an old employer plan, and they're wondering whether an annuity makes sense, what should they do next?
Well, the first thing they need to do is to start with clarity. So my suggestion is don't cancel anything and don't move any money blindly. You don't make decisions based on fear or what you see on TV and with commercials. You need to get the income question answered first. So at Fortis Insurance Solutions, what we do is we help people review what they currently have, what they need, and where the retirement gap may be, and whether a protected income strategy can make sense. Because the goal here, it's not to own a product. The goal here is to create a retirement income plan that's going to give people confidence, structure, and then a paycheck that they can count on.
Yeah, that's peace of mind right there. And that's Clear Talk with John Nunes right here on Sacramento Smooth Jazz. John, how can they reach you?
Yeah, they can reach me directly at my 800 number, Michael, which is 1-800-900-3150. That's 1-800-900-3150.
Really appreciate you being here every week, of course, sometimes several times a week to bring people insight and understanding, give them clear talk. I really appreciate you being here yet again, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Michael. My pleasure.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get back to the music, you are listening to Sacramento Smooth Jazz, your escape from the noise.